Welcome to the Pixels and Projects podcast.
When we think about remote work, it's easy to focus on the perks. Flexible hours, no commute, working in your pajamas. But let me throw this out there. Have you ever considered the hidden costs of miscommunication in these setups?
Oh, big time. It's honestly one of the hardest things about remote work. You think you're clear, but then boom. 45 minutes wasted just trying to figure out what someone else meant. And that's per person, per day.
Exactly. Now imagine that across an entire team, day in and day out. That just 45 minutes adds up to nearly 4 full hours lost per week per person. It's staggering. And what makes it worse is how this ripple effect sneaks into everything. Project deadlines, morale.
And those duplicated efforts. I've seen it more times than I can dare to count. You've got two people working on the same task because they didn't realize one of them was already on it. It's like such a waste of time and energy, and it pulls people in the wrong direction.
It sure does. And researchers have even shown that when this happens too often, engagement tanks. People start to feel disconnected, like their contributions aren't valued. And let's be honest, it's hard to stay motivated when you're constantly spinning your wheels on avoidable issues.
Right. And this is where you start seeing project bottlenecks forming. One team thinks progress is being made. Meanwhile, the other team's waiting on clarification. It all slows down. And suddenly, stakeholders are like, what's the holdup? Managed correctly, this wouldn't happen.
That's the key, management. Intentional communication structures make all the difference. Because, like Dr. Emily Wong points out, effective communication isn't something that just happens. You've got to create systems, maintain them, and adapt when needed.
And not just any systems, but ones that make it crystal clear who's in the loop, what they need to hear, and how they should hear it. Otherwise, it's just chaos.
Absolutely. And it's not just about frequency, it's about clarity. Because let's face it, a flood of IM notifications doesn't help if no one knows where to look for what really matters.
Oh, yeah, been there. And that's why structured communication, like actually sitting down and working out some guidelines, can make or break a team's success in a remote environment.
It's true. And speaking of structure, there are strategies to tackle this problem head on. Picture this: the chaos that unfolds when communication lacks structure. A Slack or Teams channel bombards you with real-time updates. Email threads spiral out of control, and project tasks get buried in tools no one's using consistently. To tackle this, we need to create a clear framework for communication. Let's dive into what that looks like.
Oh, for sure. It's like a communication free-for-all, and everyone's just guessing which platform to use. Clear recipe for disaster, right?
Exactly. That's why it's crucial to define the purpose of each tool. For instance, set Slack or Teams for real-time chats and quick updates, email for formal communications, and project management tools for tracking progress. Such clarity saves everyone time and prevents overlap.
And it also lowers everyone's stress. Nobody sits there wondering, should I email this or am I supposed to put this in a chat? It's such a simple fix, yet it makes all the difference.
It does. But what about prioritization? Not every message needs an immediate response, right? That's where the traffic light system kicks in. It's a lifesaver, designating red for urgent, yellow for important but not immediate, and green for those FYI updates. It's like triage for your inbox.
Oh, I've heard of that. Teams say it's a game changer for trying to balance, well, everything. No more trying to untangle what's important from what's truly urgent.
That's the thing. It cuts through the noise. Urgent issues don't get buried under the sheer volume of messages, and routine updates don't disrupt workflows. Simple visual cues, big impact.
Right? And honestly, it makes people more considerate about what they send. Like, instead of, hey, read this now, someone actually stops to think, maybe this should just be a yellow.
It's all about creating thoughtful habits. Speaking of habits, regular communication audits are another must-have. These audits help teams identify gaps before they snowball into bigger issues, like unanswered messages or missing stakeholders in critical decisions.
Exactly. And they're not as scary as they sound. On one project, we started doing weekly check-ins just to see where things got held up. And oh my gosh, those aha were everywhere. Like, oh, here's why the timeline slipped. Or this decision didn't loop in the right person.
Right. It's about spotting those issues in advance. You're not just playing defense, you're proactively improving how your team operates. And that can mean the difference between a project moving smoothly or falling apart.
Totally agree. And you can even use those findings to make tweaks, like updating templates or refining workflows. It's all about becoming better for the next round, right?
That's the goal. And speaking of updates, another powerful tool is teaching teams how to write concise and effective status updates. These can include progress milestones, blockers, next steps.
Johnson, you touched on this earlier, talking about effective status updates, and it got me thinking. Tools and systems definitely help, but isn't there also this human side of remote work? I mean, sometimes that's the real glue that holds everything together, right?
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, collaboration isn't just about ticking boxes or clearing out your inbox. It's about people connecting, building trust, and, actually enjoying working together. That stuff matters.
Totally. And it's why I'm such a big fan of doing regular video check ins, like just seeing someone's face, even over a screen, brings back that human element.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. I mean, when conversations are just text, it's easy to misinterpret things or feel disconnected. But with video, you can read expressions, hear tone. It makes everything feel more real.
Oh, for sure. And it doesn't always have to be a formal meeting. Some of my favorite memories working remotely are from those virtual coffee breaks we did. You know, just jumping on a call to chat about life, your weekend, or, I don't know, our dogs. It's fun.
And it builds camaraderie. Simple, genuine interactions like that can make a team feel more connected. It's not just about catching up, it's about creating a space where people feel comfortable enough to collaborate effectively.
Exactly. Remote doesn't have to feel remote, right? I kind of think it's about being intentional, like carving out those moments where we're not just coworkers, but like people working together, you know?
Intentional, that's the key word here. And not just for social interactions, but for how we communicate overall. Think of something as simple as training people to give clear, concise updates. It's a small step, but it can completely transform how a team collaborates.
Oh, yeah, like those status updates where you include progress, blockers, next steps, all that good stuff. It sounds basic, but it's transformative. Keeps everyone on the same page without drowning them in too much info.
Right? It's like a ripple effect. When the little things work better, the big things fall into place too. And speaking of big things, all these strategies we've talked about, from building clear systems to fostering real connections, they all work together to create something powerful, a remote team that thrives.
Exactly. It's not about doing one thing perfectly. It's about being intentional, thoughtful, and a little creative with how you stay connected. And honestly, it makes remote work kind of awesome, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, this was a great conversation. I hope our listeners got as much out of it as we did. We'd love to hear their thoughts and stories about overcoming communication barriers, too.
Definitely. Drop us a comment or email us your stories so we can share those in a future podcast. That's all for today's episode, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care, everyone.